Hey everyone, Calais with my ALF Consultant, my ALF Training, and I'm on with Eddie McCracken. What is your last name?
Yeah, McCracken.
McCracken. Eddie's opening up it is smaller. How many beds is it going to be?
16 bedrooms.
16 beds. Perfect size, really.
8,300 square feet.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the like the Pioneer Network or the gosh, what is it called? It's a whole movement, and they highlight places about that size. It's like the perfect size for facilities.
Oh, yeah. No, I couldn't build any bigger for the lot that I had, so
Oh, you couldn't?
no. And I probably didn't have any more money to build bigger either.
What is it called? Oh yeah, the greenhouse. Yeah, you could get certified as a greenhouse.
I heard about that.
Yeah, let me share the screen here for a second here. So what's going on with your timeline?
Well, I would say we're about 2 weeks out, but because they're going to be doing the final grading on the outside. They're done with the painting, and they just got some minor electrical and plumbing stuff to do. So, and then clean up. So I would say 2 weeks. I'm just going to start telling everybody we're.
So you've already had your like fire inspections or?
We didn't have any city inspections, and the state of Indiana is a little bit different. It's all home inspections approved by the.
Wow. So if you get a CO, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the greenhouse. Yeah, the greenhouse project. You should look into it. I wonder if 16 is bigger than their normal. I don't really know the benefit. Like you could brand it as a greenhouse if I think it fits their model. You should look into this, the greenhouse project.
Okay.
And it might be a brandable thing that you could say, hey, we're a certified greenhouse. But if just between you and me, I was going to do it, but I stopped because I just didn't need to.
Yeah.
And I didn't want any extra requirements or burdens on me, or another person, looking over my shoulder saying, hey, you're not, you need to fit these requirements to be a greenhouse, and we got to do audits, or I didn't know what their requirements are, but it would be something to look into.
Huh.
Yeah. So tell us about your place here. Two Hearts Home for Seniors.
Yeah, it's kind of, named after my wife and I, because she picks everything. I just try and get her whatever she wants. But, her background's nursing. She was a nurse her entire life. And then she ended up being a college professor for nursing. And then I've always been in the real estate I've owned a lot of rentals. And, I heard about this concept and I just thought it was pretty cool. And, she doesn't think anything I do is cool with real estate. She always hears the stories about the clogged toilets and this person not paying her. Yeah, I got to go to court, honey. I can't be home today. So when she said this was cool, and then I found out like how you can scale it and everything, I'm like, this sounds pretty awesome. And it's like you're providing a good service to somebody too. It's not, you're not just renting them a house and whatever. You're giving the seniors their, the care they deserve and everything. So.
Oh, it's definitely rewarding.
Yeah.
It's rewarding. That's funny you say that because I probably throw like 9 ideas at my wife, and then when she says that's a good idea, I kind of like stop. I'm like, did she just say that's a good idea? Okay, we're gonna run with this one.
Yeah, I do the same thing too. She shoots out everything, and every once in a while I'll find one. So she just has to pick. So it's not a bad problem.
Yeah, no, this is great. You guys have done really well. 16 beds. I'm gonna see. You have a floor plan. It's beautiful. Did you see something like this somewhere that you sort of?
You know what? I Googled 16 bed or residential assisted living layouts maybe, and there was a home in Maryland that the lady built like 4 or 5 of them, kind of like the H shape. Mine is kind of resembles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, must be something right about that. So she did it 5 or 6 times, and drawing everything out though, I've messed with so many different floor plans, and it's the best way to go if you have the size, because that way with the long end, like the hallways, you can have rooms on both sides. So there's really no other way to go unless
And
you
yeah,
know,
you have windows on. Yeah, exactly.
and
Oh,
with,
there it is. There's your layout.
like, to me, this is like the very minimal size house you could have
Mm-hmm.
for 16 bedrooms, because I don't, I wish I would have went like maybe a foot bigger, larger in the bathrooms because they're kind of tight, but
In the
you know,
bathrooms?
yeah, I'll send you a picture sometime. I
Yeah,
was
but
just,
you know what? Honestly, it doesn't like they don't have to be big.
yeah,
I don't think so. We had small half baths, and being smaller, you can put grab rails, so it's a little easier for people
oh,
to
right.
navigate.
Yeah,
It's not a bad thing.
they're installing that today. They call it grab bars in the bathroom.
Yep. So I think that every room has its own bathroom. Is that what I see?
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
it's kind of standard out by me too. In Indiana, it's, I've toured a lot of places. I was in Florida. Whenever I go on vacation somewhere, I always look for the excuse to go check out a couple of these and call it a business trip. But you know, it's not common by me to share rooms or to have a room without a bathroom. They don't have any residential assisted living by me. So
Yeah.
your only option is a large facility with like one bedroom or a living room or however they have it set up.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I really like this. So you just got to get people in the door. I think they're gonna see the home-like environment, and it's gonna be a big contrast to their other options. So, um, so where are you? You're a couple weeks from opening. You're taking reservations,
yeah,
and so you're doing like Facebook ads. What are
a
you
lot of
doing promotion-wise?
Facebook ads. I kind of toned it down on Facebook. I think I'm having issues with content to
Mm-hmm.
advertise, and um, I randomly met another guy who's doing this, and he told me that he had somebody do some Google AdWords for him, and I tried. It was really awkward when I got on the phone with Google because they were asking me questions like, "How much do you charge a room? How many rooms do you have?" So they wanted to know how much I was taking in, so they knew how much to charge me. Which, in the
Because what they would say is, well, look at your return on your investment, and we can get you a right.
right. So then he told me this guy that I just set me up with Google Ads Express.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's way cheaper, and I'm all set up for that. And today is the first day of running for that, so I'm paying for that 500 a month.
Yeah, let's do a quick search here. So if I go to, let's see here, shoot.
Well, doing a search for me or might be a little bit different because I did have somebody do SEO work on Fiverr.
Well, I'm just looking for the ads. So like if I'm in Lowell, I would
Try,
say Lowell.
try
Huh?
Northwest. Yeah, try Northwest in NWI.
Well, you didn't target like Lowell, Indiana assisted living.
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, yeah, you could do that too.
Let's just start there. Yeah, you should. What I would recommend you doing is setting up a Google AdWords account. I did a video on it. It's pretty simple for yourself. You said you did try to do that yourself, though?
Somewhat. And then I had
Somewhat. Yeah, because so a place for moms, number one. These are all placements. Are you signed up with a placement service?
not with the place for mom, but they did not have any placement services in my area, which is
Uh-huh.
weird. But I just met the only lady who's running that type of business by me right now.
Okay.
I kind of teamed up with her,
Good.
and I don't want to say I teamed up with her, but she sent me a lead the other day. She's like, "Yeah, they'll be looking in the next couple months," and that kind of irritated me because it's like all you have to do is search for assisted living Lowell, and you're gonna find me. And you didn't take this lady through my door yet.
Listen, that's the way it is.
Oh, okay.
Everybody in the business complains about placement services because a lot of times they'll just say, here, and they just show up and they say, so-and-so sent me. And you're like, man, you would have found me anyway. I was just in my video yesterday. I was like, and we're coming up with a program to circumvent these placement services.
Yeah.
You're going to see us launching that soon, but they just get in the way of a transaction that would have happened anyway. But you have to live with them. She's established, and always treat her. 'Cause in the story that I did yesterday, we had a conflict with the placement service. This one person that was prominent in town, and we do a lot of advertising and marketing like you do. So the person came and did a tour, and I showed them around. A few weeks later, the placement service called, said, "Hey, I got a client." They described the client. I said, "Well, that sounds like Jim. I met Jim." And they're like, "Okay, well, we're going to send him by." And I said, "You can send him by, but I'm not going to pay you." And it caused a conflict, and we never got any referrals from that person ever again.
Yeah.
So you got to play nice with the placement services. Always appreciate when they do. But if you just build up your marketing, and you're going to build up a good name in town. I know it. You won't really need placement services.
Yeah. Another thing I thought of doing too is giving her all my old leads that I didn't get. Just
A lot of placement services will give you a referral fee for that.
Yeah, she mentioned that to me before, and it was only like a couple $100.
Yeah.
A couple $100 really doesn't excite me, so I don't know.
Yep. I never liked feeding the beast, but if you can't help somebody, if you can't help somebody, but so let me just tell you what we're doing. We're building a website called My24Care.
Okay.
And facilities are all going to contribute into a marketing, like a cooperative. We've done it in Brevard County. And then we take the pool and we run ads so we can, because all of these here are placement services. So they spend money on Google ads. They get the lead, like here, probably even, and then they sell it back to you. So eventually your facility will be listed right here on a Place for Mom facilities, and they'll have their phone number and their contact information. So that's what we're launching. So what else? So you got Google AdWords going. That's good. You've reached out to placement services. You stopped the Facebook ads. I want to go back to the content. You were talking about content. The one thing, I'd update the photo on your banner. The thing about Facebook and social media marketing is you just never really know what's going to take off. So if you were posting something every day or consistently, you have some followers, right? You have 903. That's great.
Yeah. That first ad that you see right there, that took off huge on like the city the city.
You had like an article in the local paper or something?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So you already have 900 people. Most people wouldn't start with this. So what I would do is you're opening in a couple weeks. So every day I would just think of a piece of content to post. And it can be, I mentioned lasagna, and you happen to say your wife makes lasagna. Right. So have her do a quick video explaining the recipe. You can film segments of it, piece it together, post it on there, take a picture of the lasagna, like what a meal would look like, post it on there every day, make a piece of content, and you'll see your traffic on certain ones go, and then just send a little bit of money, boost that a little bit. Right now with Facebook, you're just building some awareness. Right. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. Those immediate placements are going to come from the placement service, Google ads, because they're searching for that particular thing, like Lowell, Indiana. What did you say was the other one? So you didn't see, these people here are probably paying, like a Place for Mom might be paying like $10 for this click.
Right.
And if you didn't bid $10, you're not going to show up here. So what is the one you said you bid on?
NWI. That's for Northwest Indiana. Put assisted living.
Is that what a person would search? Did they do a search term check on that?
No, but if you're in the area,
that's what you would call it? I don't see your ad yet. Yeah. Well, in a few days, do you have login? You have a login to see this, right? Is it?
Yeah, I have everything pulled up right now.
Yeah. You want to share it? Your Google AdWords? Sure. I'm going to stop sharing. You share yours. You got to put your wife out there more on social media. She's your nurse. She's the
boss. Can you see my screen yet?
Yep.
Okay. I think it was Here.
Yeah, can you click on all campaigns? Let's see here. Yeah, you're targeting. There should be a breakdown of your actual clicks. So let's go.
This is the first day that it's up and running though, so.
Uh-huh.
Search phrases. Maybe somebody searched this earlier today. I don't know.
Yeah, no clicks. Yeah. Click on manage all. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely you know why I think they call it express is it's easier.
Yeah.
It's less comprehensive. Close that out. Click where it says all campaigns up there under the Google Ads logo. Can you
Yeah.
click on all campaigns? Up, yeah. Okay. So
All
click
campaign.
on the details. Is that where we were? On the one that's active, the middle one? Yeah, that's where we were. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you what, because if you want more details, I'll show you. That's why I think that if you set up a Google AdWords account and do it yourself, you'll get to see a lot more details. Let's sign in.
I guess it's a lot cheaper too for some reason. I don't know how that would work or I haven't. But
Yeah, I don't know. I think I had both before. Um, just keep it in mind if you're not getting results. I'm going to show you a campaign I'm building for one of our clients. Okay, so Facebook. So I would definitely, like I said, I would make a post. Food posts do well. I mean, the thing that's very important in assisted living is, the food, the caregiver. Do you have caregivers hired? Anybody yet?
we
Okay,
trained them all in December, expecting to open up in February, but we weren't
so they're
able
just
to.
on hold at home.
Yeah.
I would do a small little bio post, like a picture,
Oh, okay.
and then like a little description. Like say Julie, here, meet one of our caregivers, and Julie can just take a quick selfie in her scrubs or something, and then like a little explanation about Julie. Julie's been a certified nursing assistant or whatever they are for 15 years. Julie loves, what she does, and she makes great food and she's great with activities or whatever it is. So every day you can post a little bio on people.
I like it.
And then, okay, so see if I click on campaigns, I see, oh, I'm in my my training room. Let me switch here.
Wow.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on AdWords and Bing too. So I have a lot of things going on.
How many, like, out of all the placements you guys get, you get a lot from like social workers or?
Oh, placements?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of those placement services they make it easy for the social workers. The social workers don't want to be responsible or know all the facilities. So the placement services go in and say, we know the good ones, we know the bad ones, we check on them all. So it makes it easy for the social workers to just, here, use this placement service. But that doesn't mean that you can't build a relationship with them as well. And a lot of times I would get calls from social workers like a rehab nursing home, and a lot of them are like the problem people that they're just trying to get rid of quickly. Like this guy's, his Medicare money ran out. He's going to go private pay. I can't stand the family. He's trying to, bite the other residents. Can you come pick him up on Saturday night? You're like, oh, red lights everywhere. So social workers are good. Ads are good. Open houses are good. So one thing I was going to recommend to you is, have you thought about like doing like a big event, an open?
I don't know how to do that right now. I was going to do a huge one.
Oh, true. Yeah. Everything's social distancing.
Yeah.
You know what you could do? This is what you could do. I would contact everybody. You said you contacted like all the different service providers, like home health companies,
Yeah.
hospice.
I got the list. Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I would do. I would take advantage of this situation and I'd make a virtual open house.
Right.
Okay. And I would host a Zoom meeting, and you would do the Zoom meeting on your phone, and you'd show everybody your open house video, and have all the other service providers, the hospice, everybody else that wants to join, and then post that on your Facebook page. And then at the same time, you're telling them like, we're opening our facility on this date. We're a small home environment. We provide. I'm going to give you some really good things that you can start to use. Hold on. Okay, so this is the keywords we're targeting for living Southern style. You see how much more detailed it is here? Let me move your.
Yeah. And then, goofy question, why, if you scroll down a little bit, you put care in homes, all one word. Did you do that on purpose?
It suggested it to me.
Okay.
I don't think, do I have any clicks on that? One.
No.
One click.
Yeah.
And I let this run for a little bit to see. I mean, I think so far I've spent like $30 or something, not a lot, $5 a day, and then you just let it run and you can see like what people are searching for. So right now, there we go. Yeah, that's better. So senior assisted living has had 7 clicks at $1 per click. And that's targeting the area, the city where the facility is. So I put a geographic limitation on it.
Okay.
And then, so 7 people who are searching for that term in that city, it's very high value. So if I would just set up a separate campaign and spend $3 a day going here, I did a video on it. I'll send you a link. You can see how I built this. Just set it up just so that you can see what's happening and you can see how much you're paying per click. You can pause. Like I might pause this independent living facilities. It doesn't really apply to what she does. She's a group home, but still only $3 or $2.60. And then everything else down here is 0 clicks.
Yeah.
Altogether though,
I've been pumping a ton of money into Facebook, and I just think that that's more for brand awareness versus people that are actively searching for something.
that you'll get that here.
Yeah.
Definitely. But then a lot of times they'll go check your Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
So that might be like their second stop. Or what'll happen is you might make a post. Let's say you post your caregiver who's, been in the business for 15 years, and then maybe one of your followers might tag a neighbor, like there can be benefits. But so this right here, 31 clicks, people have gone to her website.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the total amount spent. But it's really, really hard to gauge $35 so far. So what did I say? 31 clicks, potential prospects for $35, $1 per prospect who came to the website. Hard to gauge it right now because you don't know if people could leave their home or would even consider putting their loved one in a facility right now. I think there's a lot of people that they're home, they're not working. So I'm just looking after mom, and mom's safe here. So
Yeah.
it's hard to gauge all that, like what your spend would have translated into people visiting.
Do you think this would be a neat post, like me taking a picture of a bunch of face masks? Say on your tour, you could have wear a face mask and provide the face mask for the tours.
Anything. Yep.
Okay.
Anything. Hey, we take, extra precautions, yeah, there's no, I don't think that's a bad thing.
I bought 1,000 of them off of Alibaba, and I have them in quarantine right now for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, really? They're in like a,
No, I'm joking. I have them in a box in my house. I'm not touching yet.
Oh, yeah. You get them from Wuhan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I make those posts. So I would do a post like that, put your caregivers post, put a post about your food, your concept. Oh, I'll do a video with you where I interview maybe you and your wife or you and your family.
Mhm.
You guys have a story, and I'll be the interviewee because I'm a expert in assisted living, especially smaller home-like environments, and people in your area aren't familiar with them and aren't familiar with the benefits of them. So I'll schedule a webinar where I interview you and we talk about your facility and we talk about the things that you're going to do and the things that you're going to offer. And then maybe you send me pictures and I'll tie it in with, like, while we're talking, we'll show pictures of your facility while we're talking. And then you post that on Facebook and then maybe put a little bit of money behind that, just to explain to people the benefits of the smaller home.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a good idea.
So we'll do that maybe next week.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find this brochure. Let's see your website here while that's loading. So that's the greenhouse project. Oops. So I guess you're gonna get real photos soon?
Oh yeah, we'll get professional photos done.
So it's not, how much furniture are you putting in?
I don't know. Obviously, the whole common area, we have all the kitchen tables and chairs already. We ordered. We're going to be ordering the couches soon.
Okay.
And I think we might. I don't know how many rooms we should furnish. 2 or 3 of them.
They're all private rooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just do one room.
Okay.
Just make it the nicest room. Because they'll most likely bring their own furniture.
Let me ask you, those two, like my base price is like 43 or 4,700 a month. 43 in the beginning for my first 8, and then 47 afterwards, and it's all inclusive. Those 2 rooms in the front are huge. They're like 15 by 20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, call them your suites, and I mean you can charge a premium for those.
What price would you add on for that larger room?
You know what? It's hard to know. Like, you're just gonna have to read it once you start getting people in.
Yeah.
And I would also, if you're not getting people coming for tours, I don't know, have people called and asked you the price, or?
Yeah, it's usually the first thing they ask.
Okay.
I tell them that we're kind of we're comparable to other larger facilities, but we provide more value, I say, because it's all inclusive.
And what do they say?
Oh, okay. And then I say we discussed that during the tours.
Yeah. One way you could say it, what we used to say is, we would say, well, it is based on assessment in some ways, because people require different needs. But you can say that we have a base price, and then it's based on assessment. So you could give yourself some flexibility there if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So here's an example. I mean, let's say you know, we have a base room rate of $3,500, and that's for somebody who doesn't need any help at all. They're practically independent. And then you could tack on a $500, $700 care package. That might get them in the door. At least, you know, they're not hearing a higher sticker price. But regardless, you, instead of saying we're comparable, you could just say, I mean, yeah, I always used to say it's based on assessment, but you know, our room rates range from this price. And our room prices were based on size. So the bigger the room, the more expensive. We had suites that, you know, were more expensive.
Yeah. It's kind of weird too. I think you have to gauge the person's experience, because they might get that sticker shock if they haven't called anybody or did the research.
Yep. Yeah. Well, you're gonna know once you get the calls, these interested parties, and then it doesn't translate. What did the placement service lady say? Did you talk to her about price?
Yeah. She thought it was reasonable.
Good.
Yeah.
She would know.
Yeah. Like I said, the facility down the street from me, they're charging, their base is $4,000. Then they have 5 levels of care going up to $300 each level.
There you go. Yeah, I think you're sweet. I mean, that's going to be the one everybody wants. I don't know. I'm looking at the layout here. It looks pretty. You got a lot of windows, right?
Yeah.
3 windows. Can you fit, if I push the bed up against the wall, could you put a sitting area?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So if it was a single person?
There's room for a couch already in there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And the individual rooms are, I think they're pretty good size too. They're like 12 by 14.
No, that's good. So most of our residents, if they were a single person, they pushed their beds up against the wall, and they had a sitting area as well. They had a twin bed and a sitting area. So yeah, those are good size rooms. So when you do get the, have they given any idea? Are all the assisted living facilities closed down there? Like no visitors? And
they're on lockdown, right? And now, even if you're living in the home, you're contained to your room.
In the facility, wow.
Yeah.
That's tough. Well, in one way, I'm glad you're not open right now.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot harder. I know the facilities that, you know, in Florida are struggling. It's difficult. And then, you know, they have to go buy food. So they're shopping for like 20 people, and they go to this grocery store and they're loading up their cart, and people are looking at them like, you know, they're evil. It's like, well, I'm shopping for seniors, you know, I'm trying to keep them alive. And, I'm like,
paper.
So how are you you're gonna just shop at the local? What are you doing for shopping and food? And
I would think just delivery service. You know, right, by us, we have a couple different ones. My wife buys them all, but like I look at it as an expense, sending an employee go grocery shopping. It take them two hours maybe. So I'd rather just pay more for the food. You know, 'cause I know they do some type of upcharge.
I've done it all. I mean, I've done it all. But the one thing that is convenient about being able to go send somebody to go is you can customize things a lot. Like, oh, you know, they don't like these. They like canned vegetables. They like frozen vegetables. This person doesn't like this. So more of a customized dining experience. And a lot of times, some of the food service things, they only give you like these number 10 cans of like beans, and you might not use them all. You might need smaller amounts. Maybe you only need 3 cans to feed your residents, especially when you open, you might be going from like 3 to 5 to 6 to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be really weird too. Like with, how do I open? If I have one person ready to move in, just open up with one person? Or do I wait?
I would try to stack them up if you can.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find a caregiver that wants to live there, you know, temporarily, like a live-in, until you get to like 3 residents or something.
I also was thinking about having the live-in too while this stuff is going on, the Corona stuff is going on, because like that's like your last line of defense is your caregivers. What are they doing on their off when they're off?
If you can find somebody, I mean, I know that our consultant trainer, she's opening a 30-bed ALF in St. Petersburg, and she's in the same position you are, waiting for inspections. And when she opens, she's going to have a live-in there for the first X number of residents, and she's just going to pay the live-in like a set fee.
Well, that's my next question. So I don't even know how you would pay someone to live in.
Well, you just put it out there and see. I mean, I think she was paying $150 a day or something. So that would make it, you have to check your market. Maybe people wouldn't do it, but there may be people that are in between places or want to move someplace, or maybe come from a different part of town and they just want to work 3 shifts straight through. I would definitely consider doing something like that in the beginning, because it's very expensive when you move that first resident in. You're going to want to get to like 3 residents. What is the hourly rate for caregivers there? Have you checked around?
Yeah, it's like 10 or 11. We're starting off at 12, but I still think that's cheap. I have $15 an hour in my budget. That's what I ran all my numbers based off of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because your price point is good. So one person paying $4,000, let's say, but your payroll 24 hours a day at $12 an hour is going to be like almost 10,000.
Wow.
$12 an hour times 24 hours. That's almost $300 a day times 30. So $8,600, but then you got like taxes and stuff. So I would just post an ad on Craigslist just to see if anybody be interested in doing a live-in. And you don't have a CO yet?
No, I don't.
Okay. So, because they could even start moving in as soon as you get a CO. You could use it as a benefit. Yeah, I'd look. Maybe I'd just search Craigslist and just see if anybody's advertising like live-in caregivers anywhere. Craigslist sometimes covers bigger areas, and see what the rate of pay is.
So the way you would structure that is they're working 24 hours a day, or do you have someone in to come in and relieve them?
The way they do it is, I'm just telling you what they do here in Florida. People get breaks. Yeah, there could be somebody coming in, relieving them. I don't know. I didn't do live-ins. You said you have some reservations, right?
Yeah, I have 2 or 3.
2 or 3. But until they commit
Yep.
and move in, yeah. So I just try to stack them up. Maybe you can just stack them up to 5. Wheel and deal, get those first 5, and then you're rolling.
Yeah.
Because even if you made a deal for the first 5 or even the first 10, like the next 6 are not going to be a deal, and those people aren't going to be with you forever. So just if you get people in the door, or whatever it takes to get them in the door, whatever, just get them in if you like the people. And not everybody, I don't know, that's just my thought is just get them in, get to 5. 5 would be, even at 3,500, that would cover a lot of your costs. And then it makes it easier to get the next people to come in, because nobody wants to be the first. You come into an empty building, it's like, oh, my mom's going to be all alone.
Right.
Okay, so you're going to, so when you do get the all clear to open up, I would have a big industry open house event. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that though, but maybe you could let them come in like one at a time. Maybe you can have an outdoor.
I don't think the industry people are worried about coming over. I think it's more of like the population, the rest of everybody else. Because I just had some guy from some big home healthcare agency stop by and check it out, and he didn't have an issue with it, and he was ready to party to start it over there for me.
Yeah, well, those third party like home health companies, they're going to be hounding you. They're going to be, because you're going to be a big referral source for hospice, home health, medical equipment. So in the beginning, I think you can really get a lot of people to come and visit your facility, even if it's one by one. Just set up some meetings, spread them out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start calling social workers and just saying, hey, would you like to come visit this place before I open and just check it out?
Sure.
You know, 'cause I don't know. I need to get in touch.
I think that, yeah, because even getting in to see them would not be easy.
Yeah, and the guy from the home health care agency, I was asking him these questions. He's like, yeah, sometimes I just take stuff over there, drop it off at the front door, and then get on the phone with them afterwards, like drop them off some lunch or something. He's real big into marketing stuff.
No, it definitely will work. I'd put like a, you know, Starbucks card or something in there. Let me show you what I'm doing for Sheila, and I'll probably build one for you as well. Do you have a brochure? What do you have for marketing material?
Yeah, we have it all. We have brochures. We have pens that are like little cell phone holders from Alibaba. They can hold up your phone.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I have everything, but I got to find the places to hand the stuff out.
Yep. So what we're doing here is we're making a little resource guide booklet for her facility. Shoot, I don't have any samples here. Let me see. And basically the front 2 pages is a brochure, and then the rest of the 6 pages is like information about, here it is. Information about long-term care.
Okay.
Pages, yeah, the front cover, the inside 2 pages are her brochure. It's loading right now. That's page 1, 2, and 3. Pages 4 is an article or like a resource about paying for long-term care. So it teaches people like the resources to pay for long-term care, which is like the veterans benefit. I don't really know what you have in Indiana, if you have any social programs for people to be able to afford long-term care.
No.
You don't think you have any?
No. We do have that veterans assistance, but I'm pretty sure that's nationwide, not just.
Yeah, it's nationwide, yeah.
That's pretty much it though.
So maybe we'll change out the article. Maybe we'll put something else there. The fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th page is an explanation of advanced directives, teaching them about living wills, healthcare surrogates, power of attorneys. This thing is not loading. And then the pages 6 and 7 is a listing of services like that home health guy that came by.
Oh, so, yeah, you were telling me about that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, so you're going to build like this. The pages 6 and 7 are going to be like a resource guide, and it'll list services that you meet. So when you call them, you could say, hey, you know, this is Eddie. We're opening up our facility and we're building a resource guide for the community. And I heard you have a great service, so I want to add you to our resource guide. And then you just basically, you build out the resource, you build out this 2 pages, you'll add pharmacies, I have a whole list. So I'll send you the spreadsheet and you'll just fill it out with the services, with their phone number, and then we'll build the resource guide. The last page, can you see this, by the way, the resource guide?
I just see the Google Drive still.
Oh, wait. Okay, hold on.
Something did flash up a minute ago.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, do you see that?
Hold on, I minimized everything. Yeah, yep, perfect.
Okay, so your logo will go here. It'll say 2 Hearts, home for seniors, assisted living, whatever it is. And then it'll say NWI long-term care resource guide. And then this is basically, these are bullet points. She's going to redesign it. This would be your inside pages where you'd have pictures of your facility, and it would explain to people the benefits of your facility. Of course, you'd be the only facility listed in the resource section for that.
Would you list multiple home health care or
Yeah,
multiple
yeah.
lawyers?
I'll show you what we're doing on that. Let me stop the share. So, facilities, brochure. Okay. So the inside of the booklet is going to look something like, so the idea is that you're going to make this resource guide for Lowell and wherever you want to distribute them. And it's really a brochure for your facility, but it has a lot of other content that we can pack in, whatever we can pack into these 8 pages. So we call it a resource guide, but that's the inside pages of your, it's promoting your facility. And then
I love the idea because then I could just give stacks to like the people that I advertise to, like the
Yep.
home health people. Like, hey, drop this off to one of your clients.
You could get them to doctor's offices and maybe they just leave them on the coffee tables. And so the people would pick up this long-term care resource guide and they would keep it, or they would give it to somebody that, that they know that needs it, like the neighbor or their daughter who's, mother-in-law needs care. So it's sort of a way, I call it self-distributed marketing material.
Yeah.
It's really your brochure. So just to give you some bullet points that we're using to promote the smaller places, which you'll definitely start to learn these. So we call it a bed and breakfast environment. And so this one is for Living Southern Style. Living Southern Style of Brevard offers a bed and breakfast style assisted living home. Caregivers are available to assist with any needs that may arise. Then we promote the number of caregivers that we have to the ratio. So 1 to 2 caregivers for every 5 to 7 residents. We leave a little cushion.
Yeah.
And it's a contrast to larger communities that will have like 1 for 20. Nutritious home cooked meals. So Sheila, she does meals are homemade from scratch and are served in a comfortable family style dining room table. We do our own grocery shopping, which allows us to cater to each of our residents' likes and dislikes. Our menus are carefully designed and approved by a licensed dietitian. Whatever your requirements are, it doesn't even sound like you have those requirements.
Well,
But you could though. You could use Diane.
We'll do everything according to the way things should be done.
No, I know, but you don't have that as a regulation, do you?
Correct. No, you're right.
Yeah. So if you wanted to, you could use our dietitian. Her name's Diane Hall, and I think she charges like $125 a year, and she puts together your whole menu plan.
Wow.
And then you can say that your menus are balanced, FDA, guidelines for seniors.
Yeah.
And you can market it that your menus are designed by a licensed dietitian to offer 3 balanced meals. One thing that smaller homes offer are flexible dining. So a lot of places, larger places, they're like, breakfast is at 7 a.m., lunch is at 12, dinner's at 5. So you've been on a cruise where it's like they have the flexible dining. You've heard of those, right? And it's a big difference than these are the meal set times. And so people can relate to that flexible dining. And that's how people live their lives. Not everybody eats breakfast. So basically what it is if you want to sleep in, you can have breakfast at 10. We had a lady that used to sleep in, and she'd literally be having bacon and eggs at lunchtime, waking up like in her bathrobe, and but that's what she wanted. And that's, I think, what a smaller place can offer. Just like home, your loved one has lived their lives in a home-like environment. In larger communities, residents can often feel lost. In our home, each resident will feel like they're part of an extended family. Our mission is to make them feel like home. Flat rate pricing is something larger places don't usually do. It's up to you if you want to include that. talks about an all-inclusive price, which I think you mentioned.
Yep.
Aging in place, a lot of places offer aging in place, but the thing that makes it hard for them to age in place is they don't have the amount of staffing to take care of somebody who starts to decline and needs a lot more help and attention. But in a smaller environment, you have the right ratio of residents to caregivers that, you know, you can pay attention to somebody that needs help that's been with you for 5 years. You don't have to raise their rate and make them move out.
Yeah.
So you're going to lean into these things, aging in place. Family owned and operated is going to be a big calling card for you. So I'll give you all these, or I'll make you the template for your brochure and you can use these bullet points. So family owned and operated is something that none of your competitors are going to be able to say. Flexible shower schedule. That's something that other people can't do. Larger facilities often have very rigid bathing schedules because they have to take care of so many people. At our home, we offer customized shower schedule, and that could mean, and your wife really would know a lot of these things, but you know, 7 o'clock is your shower time. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, my mom doesn't want to get up, and sorry, got to get up to a shower. But like, and maybe sometimes they only have 2 shower days, whereas you can offer them like, well, whatever you need, or we offer a customizable schedule. Transportation, thoughtful activities, lower staff turnover because we care for our staff, adult daycare services, respite care services. So the back of the resource guide section will have all these things. And what you'll do is I'll send you the link. I'll make a copy of it for you. And then you'll just change out the names of the companies and the phone numbers. So we have adult daycare, assisted living. I would recommend, I sent you the file for adult daycare. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was interesting.
It made it looks like you can do it without a problem.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get people started, you know, and raise revenue. Okay.
How you said you get to vet them before you accept them.
Yeah. Yeah, true. That, and I mean, it could pay the bills. Yeah, it really could. I mean, yeah. So put your community resources, like if there's a local foundation or a Meals on Wheels program or something like that. This can be a little flexible. So if you wanted to put a few more community services, there's geriatric care managers. Those are people that when they don't have anybody looking after them, like no family members, sometimes the court will appoint a geriatric care manager, and those can be very good resources, referral sources for you. So I would do a search for geriatric care managers or care managers in your area, care management. Some of them, there's franchises like Senior Bridge. I listed one there, Senior Bridge. And we had a really good one that was always sending us business, but some of our clients got a little difficult because she got some cases appointed to her, like a family member, a son moves in with the mom and then is not caring for her and taking her money, and then the social services come in and the court says, hey, we're giving custody to this geriatric care manager, and then she'll be on the phone with you, know what I mean? But they have money.
Yeah.
So the court awards the geriatric care manager to look after them. The geriatric care manager makes a percentage of the management fee they bill. They bill the estate, and then they move them into facilities.
Wow, never heard of that.
Yep. And then there's some people that just live out of town, like maybe mom lives in Lowell or someplace else, and the family lives in like Chicago or something, and they just can't get down there to see them, but they want somebody to look after her and represent her. So they'll hire these care managers to look after theirs. My cat's bothering me. Come here. What? See? It gets you more views, right? A cat, isn't that what it is?
Hey, you know what? Our dog has been the biggest hit right now.
That's great.
I told you we got a service dog for my wife's father.
Yeah.
And that, you know, and I don't even like advertising it anymore because it gets so many clicks. And people are clicking like and stuff for the wrong reasons, like because the dog's cute versus, hey, this is an awesome assisted living home.
Yeah, but so, you said you don't know what to post content, but like you don't have to run an ad. Just take a picture of the dog.
Yeah.
and make a post or take a picture of your dog, like whatever events they go to. Like he's like the mascot.
Yeah, I have to. He's away at training right now, but I'll ask for an updated picture or video or him doing some tricks or something.
Do a Zoom meeting FaceTime, like a FaceTime Zoom, and do a screenshot or a video and
Yeah,
post it on there, like of our house pet. Like
yeah,
you have lots of content ideas. And the thing is, you've already got 900 followers who are probably like live in the area
yeah.
who would love that kind of content. You don't have to spend money, just make one post a day on those things. Yeah. And then another thing I was going to tell you is that any friends or any family or anybody that know you guys, like your wife's dealt with a lot of people being a nurse, ask them to leave a review on Google. Do you have a Google Places set up?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we
Okay.
don't have. Yeah, you're right. I thought about that too. I'm going to start doing that.
Just because it's like a reference, like, hey, I've known, Eddie and your wife's name for 10 years. They're just great people. I would totally trust leaving my mom or dad in their great facility. Like it's like a reference review,
Yeah,
and get those up to 5 or 10, whatever reviews on Facebook and on Google. And then
right.
Bing also has Bing Places listing as well. And then, so there's elder law attorneys. Elder law attorneys are very good.
You know what? I don't want to say teamed up with one, but I like being in real estate. I like to hear stuff about trusts and everything because I don't know. They're powerful, but I don't know too much detail about them. So I went to a trust meeting, a seminar by this lawyer, and I felt like I was at like a singles bar or something because there was a room of like 80 old people, and then this lawyer talking about it. And
Awesome.
I went up to her afterwards and told her what I was doing, and she wants to be that mom and pop type shop for writing wills and estates.
Okay, so you talked about content, and I was going to get to that after we finish this. But that's a perfect example where you should just do a Zoom meeting like this with her talking about estate planning and post it on your Facebook page. Now you're going to build this relationship with her. You saw the kind of client she has, right?
All people.
You know what I mean? Like she's going to feel like, man, that guy, Eddie, and her family did so much for me. I'm going to send a lot of referrals that way. But you can do that with a lot of other, so like the care manager, you do an interview with them. If they have an article that they've ever written, this geriatric care manager, she wrote an article a while back. So when you meet them, you'd be like, hey, have you ever, we're trying to be a resource for the community. Yeah. We're trying to tell the people, we're trying to be that place that people, I'll give you a perfect example. There's this large community that opened up nearby us. And they created a resource center right next to their lobby. It's open to the public, but the public could go in and learn about long-term care. It's called an aging resource center. And that's all it was, is just a place where people could go find out about services. But guess what? They were probably only talking about their assisted living. Same thing, but we do it in like different formats. So when this elder law, if she ever wrote an article, if she ever had any videos, if she wants to do an interview with you, that's content that you can put in this resource guide. You can put it on your website. You can put it on everywhere. Elder law attorneys. So if you have a good relationship with one, then you only need to put one. I put 3 here, but we can eliminate and just have one.
Right.
Home care. In fact, if you wanted, instead of saying putting advanced directives and paying for long-term care, we could take an article that she wrote, or if she wanted to write an article, or she could do an interview and you could transpose it to an article, and we could put that in those 2 pages. So there'll be an article about trust and long-term, estate planning in your resource guide. But any of these people, like the guy that you met, the home care, he may have an article on balance and fall risks and nutrition or hydration. So all of them could provide you some sort of content. If they ever, a lot of times they'll come to you and say, hey, we have a new program. You could say, great, can I do an interview with you on it? Now you become a resource. And if you do an interview with the talking about fall prevention, you posted on Facebook and you boosted that out to your local market, then they're like, wow, this is so creating content, becoming a resource is the overall concept.
Yeah.
So there's home care where they go and they do light duty, like I assist you with bathing and showers. And then there's home health agencies, which maybe this guy is, they get paid primarily through Medicare. And those are, for the most part, both of those are going out into the community because they're getting, these people go to the doctor's offices and the doctor says, you look a little weak. I think we should get you some physical therapy at home. Or maybe somebody had a hip replacement and then the doctor orders home physical therapy. So these home health agencies will go in and provide physical therapy and then they bill Medicare. So all of these people are out meeting these people in the home where they need help. And they're going to be the first ones to know if somebody, or the family might say, hey, you know, I'm thinking my mom might need assisted living. What do you think? So develop the relationship with these people, become the resource, help them promote their business. Hospice is another one that can provide. What do you have? Vitas Hospice? What do you have for, what are the main hospices there? Have you looked?
I don't know what the main one, there's a couple different ones like Southern Hospice and then Transition. Yeah. I don't know. I just met somebody, there's a bunch of different ones.
Okay. Yeah. Go to their office when you can
Yeah.
and just tell them, hey, we're opening and I really want to learn about your services so that my families, if they ever need this, like, you know, I want to know, be able to refer you business basically. And then they're going to be like, oh, come on in, let me show you around. And it'll have an impact. When we first started, we invited all these people and they were just like, really? You're inviting us out to your facility? Like usually, you know, they're like the plague, like they just keep coming and like zombies. But in the beginning, you can build a really good relationship, open door. Medical equipment, skilled nursing, rehab. Where does your wife work? She works in
She's a college professor for nursing.
oh, that's right. She's a college professor. See, but she's good. Like if she's a nurse, went into these rehabs.
No, she was a intensive care nurse at one hospital her entire time.
Yeah, when you send anybody into these long-term care facilities or try to meet with social workers, if you can get her to go, she'd be the one to go because she's the nurse. Like they're going to be like, oh, you run your own facility, like I'll give you business. She has an in just being a nurse.
You're right.
So I would definitely make some cards with RN and, you know.
Yeah, it's all over. RN, MSN.
Good. Oh, awesome. Okay. And then pharmacies, have you teamed up with like a local pharmacy that specializes in assisted living? They don't.
No, but the in-home care doctor that we supposedly teamed up with, they're like a all-inclusive shop, meaning they have their own pharmacy delivery service, their own podiatrists that come in there and everything.
That's awesome. Podiatrist is important. So what I would do is maybe on here, on your edition, you can change it, you know, because you don't need 4 pharmacies. And then instead of like, maybe add another column for healthcare provider, in-home healthcare provider, and list that doctor's information. Or maybe that doctor is the one that you want to have an article in your resource guide.
Yeah, no.
Just to give you an idea, like these resource guides, I got them priced at, you could probably get them cheaper, but like Got Print, an 8-page booklet, like this booklet with this template is going to be, I think it was 500, less than 500. What was it? $200? Let's just jump over there. For like 1,000 copies. And yeah, if you got 1,000 copies of this resource guide booklet and you just went around to like dropped off 3 or 4 at every doctor's office or every place you can go to, if it's a useful guide, then they'll give it out or they'll leave it out, I think, as long as it's useful. Yeah, I think it was really cheap. That's why because we previously, with our co-marketing, we did a resource guide. It was 64 pages and we had 10,000 copies made. So Shop now booklets, shop by size. So I think it was a 5 point, yeah, like a folded piece of paper size. But this is being the resource is going to add a lot of like because you can always add pages, right? So like, let's say right now you're just at 8 pages, but like the next time you're like, man, I got this doctor wants to put an article in there. This home health company wants to put an article in there. Let me stretch it. What is the next size up? This is 12 pages. You go 8 to 12. Doesn't change the price much, but now all of a sudden everybody's like trying to gain favor with you because you've created this resource for the community and it's getting distributed on a quarterly basis.
Yeah.
And all they got to do is give you an article. So here, 8, let's say I get, well, let's say 500 copies. So instantly processed, $216. I bet shipping is only like $16 to your zip code. What is your zip code?
50 46311.
So this is full color, $16 shipping. So 500 books are only $216. So let's just bump it up to 1,000 books. So I'll give you an example of, so 1,000 books are $269. That's cheap. So
Yeah.
you distribute your little ad booklet or whatever.
27 cents a piece.
Yeah, it's very cheap.
Yeah.
So here's an example. So when in our newspaper in the Brevard County, which is like Space Coast, there was one main newspaper called Florida Today. And they had a program where I didn't like running ads in the paper because it was too wide of an area and you get lost. But they had a program where you could put an insert into the paper.
Yeah.
And they could do it based on zip code. So I could say, I only want to put an insert in these 2 zip codes.
Oh.
And they had minimums, like we had to hit 7,000 homes or something. And I think for each drop, I think I spent $250 a drop. I think it was $250 a drop. I did it 2 times a month. And it would hit all these homes in my immediate area. And it was a full page article, both double-sided. And it was basically like an insider's view, things to understand about long-term care, you know, things to look out for. And I just ran that all the time. And people would save them and they'd give them out to neighbors and friends. People would come for a tour with like 10 or 12 of them they've saved. And they're like, I've got all your articles. My dad was in the picture. And they would come up to him at the grocery store and they'd be like, I got your article. And so he was like loving it because he was like this celebrity, you know? So that's an example of if you create something of value that's a resource, people will save it and share it with other people.
You know what I'm just thinking of too, doing right now too, I like when I'm done with this resource guide, post it on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want an electronic copy, go to our website, send us your email, and you'll get it delivered right to your inbox. That way you start.
I think the next step that we're going to do, the next part of this, is that we're going to turn your website into a resource guide.
Okay.
So we'll build a resource section, and then like, let's say the home health company, bring the guy that you met, he's got an article or they got a new program and you could do a quick interview. You put a link and you put the post on your website, you share it on your Facebook page. So now people are, maybe they weren't interested in assisted living, but they're interested in this fall prevention article that you posted on your website. They click on the link because it's on Facebook, they're on your website. We can put a Google or Facebook tracking pixel. You can chart. So we take the community content and your Facebook page and your website and your resource guide, you become the resource.
I like it.
It won't cost much money except, you know, this, and we're designing it for you. So pretty simple. Good stuff, huh?
Yeah, no, I like it. And those books are extremely cheap. I can't get over that.
Yeah, and then when people come for a tour, you just give them this booklet. Like, hey, here's this booklet. And I didn't tell you the last page the last page has like 12 questions you should ask before choosing an assisted living facility. And they're
Yeah.
all like, you know, geared towards, you know, things that would benefit you. I don't know if we're going to move it in or put it someplace else, but it's definitely going to be like, okay, how many caregivers to residents do you have? Oh, you have one caregiver for 20 residents. How many caregivers do you have overnight?
That's how I got the first person to sign up. I told them that's what they should ask the other place they
Yep.
were about. It was 1 to 20.
Yep. And there's other ones too, like overnight, or like some of them ask about elevators. I think a lot of the facilities that I saw in your area are multi-story. So, you know, you want to find out the weaknesses and then try to figure out those. You'll learn those. You'll just be good at it. You'll be like, what other facilities have you gone and seen? And they'll tell you. And then you'll know what you're comparing it to, what their price point is. And so I think you got your work cut out for you. I mean, the first thing I would do first, like I said, is I'm going to make a copy of this resource guide page. I'm going to share the link with you, and then you can go on and make the changes.
I'm pretty savvy with this stuff, so I figured it out right away.
Yeah. And then secondly, you're going to, what was the second thing? Oh, you're going to start making more posts on your Facebook page. And hopefully you start getting some action on these ads. Otherwise, I would set up one myself. And then next week, let's schedule an interview where I interview you and your family, or however we want to do it. And we talk about your facility and make it like a little, you know, but it's true. What you're doing is different than most people don't know the benefits.
Yeah.
So we'll email and I'll schedule that with you. What else? Yep. Food pictures, pictures of the dog, a FaceTime video with your mascot dog, whatever events he goes to, you take pictures. How he's out, because you're here helping people in your home, and he's out there helping people in their home and bringing joy in their environment. So, you know, you're trying to help people any way you can. And the dog's a big part of that.
Yeah.
Activities that you have planned, those are posted on Facebook, you know. And then hopefully you can start actually doing tours.
Yeah. I'm going to top of this resource guide, though. I'm excited for that. It seems easy enough.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll put it together, and then, you know, I'll post this video if you want to watch it again, but I think you took notes.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'll post the video. And then you mentioned that you did another video yesterday. Is that on your
it's on YouTube.
Oh,
it's on
just
my ALF Training YouTube page. I'll send you a link to it, and it says,
if it's on your YouTube page, I'll find it.
Yeah, it's like Assisted Living Marketing Show, episode 6 or 7, Living Southern Style ads. I think I take you through step by step how I made those ads and set up the page. I don't think that you might be competing ads though. You might. I don't really know how that works. I don't think Google will let you run the same ad. Like with this. Okay, if let's say you're running an ad on your Google Ads Express and you're targeting these keywords with this website,
Yeah.
I don't think that it'll let you run a second one targeting the same keywords with the same website. I'm pretty sure that, because then you'll just have competing ads with the same domain. But if you just keep, what I would do is I would just keep Googling those terms that you want to rank for. And I think that the person who set up your Google AdWords Express should be able to give you like, hey, can you give me a report? Like how many impressions, how many clicks have we gotten on these terms? What other terms are people searching for? How many people are searching for here, I'll just show you. Let me just show you something really quick before we get on, because that's why even if you just set up an account, you could play with the keyword generator.
Yeah.
It'll estimate traffic for you. So, because I'd be curious how many people are searching for the term Lowell, Indiana assisted living, just something like that. And then it gives you suggestions and it tells you other traffic. So basically within Google Ads, there's this keywords button once it loads. Hey, another thing I would do is I would just come up with a bunch of little tips for people who care for seniors or who have a senior. A bunch of tips. Your wife can write down a bunch of tips. Hydration. She's an educator, right? So she can come up with a bunch of lists. And I would just make little clip-it videos like, hey, everybody, what's your wife's name?
Janelle.
Okay. Hey, everybody, it's Janelle with Two Hearts, Home for the Seniors. We're a new facility. I just want to give you a quick tip. If you or somebody you know is, a senior person, hydration is so important and it can lead to da, 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 da. Or, hey, I just want to give you a quick tip, and just break them out into little quick segments and make those posts on Facebook, little educational tips. And you can record probably, 10 of them in one shot, and then just drop them out. Okay, so keywords. So when you're in here, you can, oh, I'm sorry, it's up in this tools and settings.
Yep.
So you can set up this account for free, just tie it to, and then in the keyword planner right here. Okay, so what we'll do is we're just going to discover new keywords, and then we're going to type in, does Lowell have one L or two?
2 at the end.
Yeah, Lowell.
You went to keyword planner, then what did you go to afterwards?
Up in the tools and settings, then it's the keyword planner. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just start with that, and let's do, what is yours? Two Hearts Care. Oh, .care. I like the domain name, by the way. That's good. Oh, .care, right?
Yeah. No one believes me, kind of like when I tell them, like, God cares.
That's good, yeah. Okay, so what it'll do is it'll run a report and it'll tell you the estimated traffic for, I got nothing. So what did you say the other one that people would search for is?
Why? Assisted living.
Where?
NWI.
Oh, NWI.
Okay, maybe I lied. I don't see it. Or if I'm on
NWI. Nothing. What else would it be? I don't know. I'll play around with this. I'll see if I can find a keyword combo, but you can do that as well. Try a bunch of different search terms. What's the nearest city the nearest besides Chicago?
well, the nearest large city would be Crown Point or Crown Point, let's say.
Crown Point?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you're getting searches there.
And I can add that to my search.
Yeah.
right?
How far of a drive is that from Crown Point?
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh, well then there you go. Those are the type of terms. Look at, see right here, I see
Wow.
Crown
Yep.
Point is about 260 searches a month. The average top of the page bid ranged between 3.3 to, see, I told you $10, didn't I? $10 a click.
Yep.
But you got to think of it like when you're rolling, like if you got to try to get to the top of the page sometimes, because if those leads convert for you, like if they work, like if you think that the person searching for that would be interested in what you have to offer, even $10, if it turned into a lead, you know, that stayed with you for 5 years, could be a pretty enormous return.
Oh yeah.
And you know, but it might not be worth it to bid that much. So you gotta, cause see, somebody who's bidding this, they might have 100 beds and they can afford it.
Right.
But sometimes it might be less, you know. So look, top of the page bid, low range is 3.35, and top of the page high is 10. So there could be, it would be worth it paying $3 a click even. But I think when I ran the report for Sheila's, it said the same thing, but sometimes she's paying for lower level keywords. She's paying like, you know, for elderly, retirement home, she's paying $1 per click or 60 cents, 70 cents. And I think it'll auto suggest those things when you build your ad. So, all right, man. Hey, if you have any questions, just email me or text me. I'll email you my cell. You can text me anything, and then we'll schedule like an interview.
Okay.
And I'll probably call you ahead of time and we'll just kind of discuss it. I'll send you maybe some questions, but it's basically like, you know, why'd you guys get into this business? Can you tell me about your place? You know, you do, I'll just kind of ask questions like, you do home cooked meals, you allow residents to age in place. You know, do you charge extra if somebody needs to be in a wheelchair? Like just things that they don't think about that larger communities charge, like, if you need assistance getting from your room to the dining room, they charge you sometimes $5 per time, where you guys are just like, do it. And if somebody's weak and has a bad week and they have a urinary tract infection and they just need to stay in bed, or you guys just care for them. And so that's the way the interview will go.
Okay.
Sound good?
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome, man. All right. Yep. I'll send you a link and we'll see if we can move this ball forward.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll be in
All
touch.
right. Take care. Thanks.